Hey friends, how y'all doing today? Basically this video is gonna be about the human mentality. Why and how our mentality affects us. So basically, as humans, we are given the ability to think. Like, you can't stop thinking. Like, even if you try to not think, it doesn't really work out because our brain is always awake even when we're asleep, which is why we have dreams. But that's like a whole nother story. But most of life problems comes from thinking. It starts from our brain. It starts because we think, and it starts because our perspective on things. So most of the times when we have an issue or an obstacle, we think. We think about the problem. We think and try to figure out how to solve that problem. So we have a problem. We think, how can I solve this problem? But then even before we think of how to solve this problem, why is this problem even here? That's the problem. The problem isn't why the problem isn't why you're having the problem. The problem is you're trying to figure out why you have said problem instead of figuring out a solution for said problem. In case I may have gone a little too fast, let me break it down for you. So you have an obstacle. Your obstacle is you have bills to pay. The problem is you don't have money to pay said bills. The solution that you try to look for solving the problem, bills being paid, is why don't I have money to pay said bills? Instead of looking for how to get the money to pay the bills, you're trying to figure out why does a problem even exist. That's the beginning of all problems. We try to figure out why is the problem happening to us instead of trying to figure out how to solve the problem. Another issue that arrives with having obstacles in our life is the way we think. We see every obstacle as a negative thing, which is absolutely wrong. I don't know whoever taught us that an obstacle is bad is the one that created the issues that we have today. Because every obstacle that we have in our life can be seen as two things, positive or negative. If we view, which most humans do, is view it as the negative, we're never gonna get anywhere. We see everything bad as bad, every obstacle as bad. Whereas if you view every obstacle that you face as a positive thing, you'll see how much more you get out of life. For example, you own a business company and your business just plummeted to the ground because of the crash of 1912. And now you're boohooing and crying because, why did it happen to me? Why did my business plummet and crash to the ground? Whereas you could be looking at it as a whole new venue to start. Everyone's business crashed. No one has business. And now you could start over. Like, everyone is on an equal platform. Like, you could look at that crash as like, oh man, we both have $0 in our bank account. So I guess now we're equal. You could start your business back up. And boom, bada bang, you're back to being a multi-million-dollar billionaire. But if you just boohooed and cried about it, just go home, go to sleep, keep sleeping, wake up the next day, there's probably no food to eat because you slept like the whole other week, and then sleep some more. That's not being proactive. When we hit a stone in our life, we stop being proactive. We stop thinking. It's like a light bulb in our brain just switches off. Like, we stop trying to figure out what to do next. We just, once you hit a stump, you give up. And that is actually the problem. The problem isn't that the problem exists. The problem is we do nothing about the problem existing. As much as that does not make sense, the obstacle will always be the way. If you have something that is blocking you from reaching your goal, there's a reason why it's there. It's not there for no reason. But it's not your job to figure out why the obstacle is there. Your job is to figure out how to overcome that obstacle, how to reach your goal. You have a goal. Your goal is to reach it. That was your goal. Your goal is to have a plan to get over it. Plans don't always work, which is why you create plan A, B, and C, and D. So if plan A isn't working, then go around the obstacle, jump over the obstacle. In fact, even crawl under the obstacle. I don't care however you plan to overcome it, but you have to have a call of action. You don't see it and then just give up and go to sleep, because it's not gonna make it disappear. It's not gonna make it go away. You're not gonna cry your obstacle to death. Like, it's going to stay there until you do something about it. So most of the problems that we have today doesn't arrive because it's there. The problem is we don't do anything about it. So if you have a problem, change your perspective on it. Don't keep looking at something as a negative obstacle. Maybe if you changed how you looked at it, you'll come up with better creative ideas on how to bypass it, how to overcome it. And don't just give up. Giving up gets you absolutely nowhere. Giving up doesn't even, think about it this way. You're in a race. Instead of looking at how far you have to go, look back and see how far you've gone, and you will see that you've gone such a long, long way. Don't give up because something or someone said that you can't do it. So maybe the next time you have an obstacle and you feel like giving up, pick your head up, pray, and you'll see that there's a whole different platform, there's a whole different route to getting to your dreams. Don't give up because someone said you can't, because always believe that you can. And like I always say, think bigger than your dreams and make the impossible possible.